Okay, that should be us going. I hope it is just my laptop being slow and not my internet. That would be not great. Health, okay, so that's saying my quality there is excellent. I think it is just my laptop is being slow. Just give me a moment. Try and see if I can get up the chat box comment window. Okay. Yep, the laptop has just been slow today. That's always great. Okay. That is all I need from the laptop. Oh, hello, hello. Back into Final Fantasy XIV, Sorin's Journey. Last stream, we started into the Defender of Eorzea. Is it Defenders or Defender? I can't remember. Of Eorzea patch quests. Which involved... The main thing of that was there was a lot going on in Ul'dah. Found out that Pledgiad Ledgy wasn't quite as nice a person as he'd first appeared. Followed between that, the other thing was the Tempered Sylphs had summoned Rama, and Rama challenged us to a duel, which we Sorin did win. And now Alphinaud has been talking about setting up a new organization, and he needs a bit of our help apparently. Let's get into it. Oh. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the event of the Seventh Astral Era, the leaders of the Free Nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide Grand Company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land, and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation accorded to the Scions. It is my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the Antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed before the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scions' command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing the precursor to the true, border-spanning Grand Company, it is yet necessary that I visit the Free Leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. I can do that, I think. Just recruit people? Thank you. It is reassuring indeed to know that the Bringer of Light and his discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Lominsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. I guess that works for me. Limsa Lominsa was the first town the first city-state that I've arrived in Eorzea. It's very warm here in around at the minute. Alphinaud? Ah, there you are. I am ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Bluefuswin. While the Admiral and I are finalising promissory boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavoured to spread the word of our organisation through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, it is of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And you needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you're satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. So, just look around the upper decks for people who might be interested in joining a grand company. Right? Shouldn't be too hard. Yes, starting towards the Marauders Guild is always a good idea. Like Alphinaud said, it's going to be a mainly military organization. If I remember correctly, there was... Captain Carvalane is not an organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity. I must say, your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens well know that there's a time to act and a time to watch. And I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. That's not a problem, sir. I remember though, the Krakens aren't exactly a all above board either. I'm not sure I'd trust him with Alphinaud's plan. Maybe the Commodore knows some people who might be willing to help. Master Alphinaud's new organization? Yes, I'd heard the formation of his trial company was in the offing. It is with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of limbs of Leminson must needs receive my full attention. Not a problem, sir. I was... Maybe that did give the wrong impression asking him directly. Well, I'm sure he'll spread around words within the guild. Other places to check out. I'm not quite sure about recruiting any of the sirens, but maybe I could at least ask their leader if she passed around word. Excuse me, ma'am. Eh? Who in the bloody hell do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodden knight in shining plate. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking on that dandy Carvalian's door. Okay, ma'am, I'll do that. Well, I already have, but... yeah. Maybe I should steer clear from trying to recruit pirates. Who else is about? Excuse me, ma'am. Can I have a moment of your time? A precursor to United Eorzean Grand Company? Well, I do admire the scope of your ambition. My responsibilities here at Laldeacon Vimelli's keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yon across the realm. And should you require my skills as an armourer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure we'll need that kind of support at some point. It's only so far the Grand Company can get, I imagine, without equipment. I'm not having as much luck with this whole recruiting thing as I'd hoped. Well, I think I'm having about as much luck as I'd hoped. Not as much as I think Alphinaud hoped I would have. Mr. Eel. Hello, sir. Well, if they ain't Sorin, I'd not forget a venturer brave enough, or daft enough, to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember old Roll, don't ye? Formerly of the Company of Heroes? Free whistles at Bronze Lake? Aye, it ain't often I drag me arse out to Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How fare ye these days? You're looking to put together a new crew? Top-tier work? Sounds like a right lark it does. Alrighty, lad, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into my grave just yet. Thank you, sir. He's someone I think we can definitely trust. And if he was formerly with the Company of Heroes, he's definitely skilled enough to be of help. It's one person, and maybe... the Corporation of the Armorers Guild in helping supply us, which I can call that a success, right? Got it? Mamulja. Thought that was Sahagin for a moment. Didn't think Sahagin would be particularly welcome in Limsa. Excuse me, ma'am. I get down to the airship landing? Alphinaud, I have news, not great news, but... Sorin, your recruiting went well, I trust. I'm curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa Laminsa. Well, about that. Ah, a member of the legendary Company of Heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I, too, was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seedseer proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nothica's altar. How much does a teleport to Gridania cost? 308. It is probably cheaper to get an airship ticket. Warm. I guess this time I won't be actually heading to the Locust stand myself. There's the rain on. Hunter's Guild. Alphinaud? My audience with the Elder Seedseer is due to commence momentarily. I'd be grateful if you would once more see to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deemed a well of potential candidates has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter, as before. Sounds like a plan? Who around Gridania might be worth talking to? Anyone with the theater? Wait, is that Laurentius? Oh gods, can it truly be you? Oh, by what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could it be you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron of Buscarans. Yes, I do remember. Well, of course you do. I was beginning to wonder if Gal had changed me more than I realised. Not that I have any particular wish to be recognised after my shameful conduct. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? As matters stand, wood whalers will have naught more to do with me. This may just be the second chance I was looking for. Well, Everyone deserves a second chance. Reverend's toll, you say? I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this, I promise you. I'm a changed man. I certainly hope so, Laurentius. Who else? Not in Britannia as often as I am in Limsa, or even Uldar. Hello there. My back is perfectly fine, I tell you. You'll have to tie me to my bed if you think to prevent me from... Ow. Well, mayhaps I'll rest for just a short while. Everything okay, ma'am? Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let's return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry, we were just... Oh, Sorin, isn't it? It has been some time since our paths crossed outside of Corporal Mines. Oh, I thought I might have recognized you from somewhere. Why, you're barely more than a novice adventurer then. Look how far you've come. Marmione tells me 'twas you that fell the fearsome Black Wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order. Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Nostalgia safely home. Thank you, ma'am. I'll see you in Mordona then. Well, this is already going more successfully than my recruiting in Limsa Laminsa did. Sand. I wonder what happened to him after all the Hawk Manor business. Hello there, sir. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions. I am both puzzled and honoured by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young master, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scanty years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. Thought maybe he would have considered, helping out in the Grand Company as part of a... best to let him live out his life how he believes he should. Excuse me, ma'am. It is not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited. This company of yours certainly seems to have some promise, but its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. Fair enough, ma'am. Your time. Now, it is a bit of a point. What? I haven't heard from Alphinaud much about what the organization's specific activities will be. Oh. Alphinaud? I think I've finished around here. What news, Sorin? For my part, the Elder Seedseer is most amenable to our requirements. Former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer? Our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Uldar whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavour to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Excuse me, sir. I seek passage to Uldar. I think the quickest way to the Royal Promenade is just to take the elevator past it in the strip, right? Off we go. Alphinaud? Uldar, the Gilded City. where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let's meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Sorin. Oh, it is a good point about not trying to recruit from the Sultan Sworn. Let's see who I can find who might be willing to help out. I guess the Gladiators Guild is as good a place as any to start. All trained warriors here. Is that Willard? I tried to summon Ralgar. Wait, you're the man who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't... I'd probably be dead, and a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road, that disaster got me to thinking about our homeland, and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated, and vowed to make of myself a more worldly man. So, here I am. A new company of champions? And you say it will take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I've prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. Laurentius and Wilrod. Both people have had to fight against in the past. I want to believe they've changed. In Willard's case, he wasn't consciously working for the Ascians. He was... It's not like he's completely free of responsibility, but he was kind of manipulated into it. It's not like Laurentius, who was just working for the Empire. Hello, Mom. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me, perchance? I'm Orson, of the Church of St. Adama Landama. I thank you again for your timely rescue. And I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on Drybone's less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion? Bankard, wasn't it? Ah, 'tis new companions you seek, then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. Not a problem, ma'am. Oh, yeah. I remember now. Kind of forgotten who she was. I recognized her, but I didn't remember where from. Who's there? Excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry. You wish to recruit me? Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you are wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, sir. I don't think it's worth the effort to try and clarify what I was meaning. Where else should I head? Over to the market, I guess, seems as good a place as any. Excuse me, sir. You'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the streets say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. Syndicate? I thought we weren't even at the stage where we had an organization. We were still in the getting permission for it. Maybe have to bring that up with Alphinaud about how we are going to fund this. A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire? Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over, let alone the conundrums of a neighbouring nation. I'll assume that's a no then, sir. Thank you for your time. It was another 1 success. So that's overall 4 recruits I found. Maybe thinking on the scale of a grand company, 4 doesn't feel like a lot. Alphinaud, how did things go with Sultana? How fared you, Sorin? What hidden gems did the streets of Ul'dah offer up to your unrelenting gaze? Well, I've met a young man named Wilred. A single Alamegan youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Sorin. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. Certainly hope so. And yes, we are free to begin. As you've no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced my trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the documents signed, and the finances secure. There's naught to prevent me from taking the next step. About those finances, Alphinaud. Are you concerned by the syndicate's involvement? As was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumours and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for a united Eorzea. It's not... I'm a little unsure about using syndicate money. Oh, this is a voice-acted one. I think my audio is still in Japanese. Apologies.
Lauban, アルフィノの動き、あれをどう思う？
グランドカンパニーエオルゼアに向けた第一歩として先行統一組織を設立するという話ですか？アルテマウェポンという共通の敵を前にまとまりかけていた統一グランドカンパニーの話も遅々として進んでおりませんからな。さまざまな問題を抱える現状を考慮すればアルフィノ殿が先導し再びきっかけを作ったことは喜ばしいことではありませんか？
表で協力を謳いながら裏では争いを続けている。どこ？ラウバーン、わらわはあの組織をあまりよく思っておらんのじゃ。あれには各国のグランドカンパニーの精鋭たちも参加し、武力に特化した組織となっておろう。暁の管理下とはいえ危険ではなかろうか。それにな、あの組織の設立にサカツ州から資金提供があったことが気がかりなのじゃ。いつ奴らの私兵となるやもしれん。
しかしながら七モ様、我らは暁に蛮神問題を肩代わりさせてきました。戦力増強を求める彼らの声を無視することもできますまい。加えて資金提供はサカツ州のみにあらず、九段のサカツ州からの資金もロロリトラを通していないきれいな金です。それにあの冒険者がいる暁なのです。間違った方向に走ることはないでしょ
そう。あの者たちならばな。しかし、人は移ろいゆくもの。その気はなくとも、時の流れは人の意志すら動かすのじゃ。荒野に舞う砂塵のようにな。テレジアデレジの剣、いかようにもならぬのか。
いろいろと手は尽くしましたが、今のこのウルダ派に奴を捕まえねばならぬ法がございません。無理。
奴がしでかしたことは明確なのに、捕まえることもできるのか。何が国家か、何が王家か。ファラオはなぜこうも無力なのじゃ。
ナナモ様。
Back. Before I forget again. Back to English. Apologies about that. I have a horrible memory for remembering things like this. To the Rising Stones, then. I know what the next step in this endeavor is. Don't know if I'll be much more help in setting up this organization, though. I'll probably make myself able to help out with their activities and their missions, but I'm not exactly great at all this behind-the-scenes stuff. No one new seems to have arrived yet. I guess Alphinaud will send a word once the company's been established. Or maybe they're just waiting elsewhere in Mordona. Alphinaud? That is not a journey I would soon wish to repeat. But I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services, Sorin. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free for other duties. No problem, Alphinaud. Anytime. Just watch yourself with this, okay? Ma'am? Greetings, Sorin. Alphinaud tells me all is in place to begin his trial company. The Ascians shall certainly be grateful to have the support of such an organization. The inaugural ceremony is set to take place here in the Rising Stones. The Tower is cooperating with Alphinaud to see that all is in readiness, so I'm afraid the recruits themselves will be left to their own devices for the time being. Quite a number of new faces have arrived in Revenant's Hall of late, and I wonder if Slaffborn might not be finding himself overwhelmed. Would you speak with him and find if there is aught he requires? Of course, ma'am. Slaffborn. He's the... I can't remember if he's the head of the Adventurers Guild, but he's at least a representative of it, right? Is there anything you might need a hand with? What can I do for you, Sorin? I thought you'd have your hands full helping out with this new arm of the Ascians. I barely noticed your recruits arrive. There's barely a trickle compared to the flood of treasure hunters we have passed through here every day. Well, I appreciate your offer of aid. It is more your burden that concerns me. I'm told this trial company wants it directly to the antecedent, so I trust that means less work for you in the long run. Slaffborn, the shipment! We couldn't... Is everyone okay? God's ruin, what befell? We were bringing a shipment to Revenant's Toll. Provisions, earmarked for the frontier effort. But just as we sought to cross over into Mordona, we were set upon by brigands. I believe they may have been heretics. There were many, too many. We only escaped with our lives by abandoning the supplies. Pray forgive us. There's naught to forgive. Provisions can be replaced, but smart soldiers are hard to find. Take your rest, and I'll have someone along to tend to those wounds. What to do? And if heretics are involved, then this is like to be more than a case of simple thievery. Ishgard will need to be informed. Whence did these supplies originate? House Forton. We collected provisions from Camp Dragonhead proper. Understood. I shall see that they are praised for this development. Sorin, were you not on good terms with the Knights of House Fortons? I'll be sending them a missive immediately, of course, but I would also have you travel there and offer your considerable talents. Yes, I realize I contradict my earlier hopes to lighten your load, but I need someone who can help bring this incident to a satisfactory conclusion. Our favourable relations with Ishgard are far too important to risk half measures. It's not a problem, sir. Anything I can do to help? Thank you for understanding. I'm certain Lord Hoshfont will be glad of your assistance. Feels like it's been a while since I've been up to Ishgard. Need to dress for the weather. Not all that great with the cold. Lord Hoshfont? Well, well, if it isn't my fine friend Sorin Sherwood. Would you care for a plate of roast caracou? Some mulled wine? No? Ah, I see you have not come into my hall merely to escape the biting cold. I was, in fact, on the verge of opening an urgent missive from Revenant's Toll, and I suspect the timing of your arrival is no coincidence. Unfortunately not, sir.
The incident with the new frontier hands? No, you need not elaborate. I have been following their progress with no small amount of interest. Brave men and women all. They do our nation a great service. The existence of a fortified outpost in Mordona will do much to dissuade the Empire from trespassing on Kurth's soil. Right glad am I that you have chosen to lend your support to this endeavor. Never let it be said that House Forton does not acknowledge the efforts of her allies. 'Twas in the spirit of gratitude that I arranged for sundry supplies to be delivered to Revenant's Toll. That the shipment should chance to be waylaid by heretics is poor fortune indeed. Poor fortune, I say, yet not without precedent. If you would know the truth of it, these incorrigible villains grow more organized with each passing day. This new unity of purpose we attribute to their leader, the Lady Iceheart. But though I have devoted significant resources to the task of identifying this woman, we have yet to learn so much as her birth name. What we do know is that the heretics speak of Iceheart in reverent tones, and would gladly embrace death rather than betray her. Such loyalty is rare indeed, and I fear to imagine what so committed a collective might achieve. The brigands have not yet been so brazen as to risk direct confrontation here in Dragonhead. Some few of their number have, however, been sighted not far to the west of here, and with ever-increasing regularity. A visit to Whitebrim Front may bring you the answers you seek. Will you brave the snows, knowing what implacable foes may lie in wait?
That's the plan, sir.
Alone's blessings be upon you. Though I take no pride in the admission, many of mine own countrymen are not so well suited as you adventurers to dealing with such foes. Were they dragons, it might be otherwise. But truly, I could not wish for a finer ally. You have done much for my house in the past, and I have no doubt but that I shall have cause to celebrate your deeds again ere long. Should you learn aught of value, pray return to me forthwith. A warm hearth and a warmer welcome shall be waiting for you.
Thank you for your time, Lord Archfont. Yeah. Off to Whitebrim then. See if there's anything Lord Drillmon's seen. Lord Drillmon? Sorin, is there aught you would ask of me? Pray speak plainly. I'm a man of action and need no honeyed words. On the trail of a band of thieving heretics, you say? I'd a fury, but you do seem destined to cross paths with those villains. I must confess, then, 'tis a sad truth that the wilds hereabouts have indeed grown thick with their number. They strike swiftly, without warning. They're canny enough to evade our most able trackers. But 'tis not merely their newfound organization that confounds us. The heretics themselves seem somehow changed. I know not what manner of influence this Iceheart wields, but the men we face seem utterly lost in the grip of righteous fervour. It is an unsettling and unnatural zeal. Mayhaps you would care to question one of their recent victims. As fate would have it, your arrival came moments after a trader was waylaid on the road. A patrol found the unfortunate fellow lying senseless in the snow and carried him to our infirmary. Assuming he has regained the use of his faculties, the merchant might recall some small detail that could aid in your task. Thank you for the advice, sir. I'll go and see how he's doing it now. Hope he's doing well. I wouldn't want to bother him if he's still hurt, or maybe he doesn't want reminders about what happened if he was attacked like that. I believe this is the infirmary, isn't it? See, must be upstairs. Excuse me, sir. Tell you what happened? Why, yes, of course. I'm quite recovered enough for that. Anything to help catch those cowardly blackhearts. I was travelling my usual route to Whitebrim Front when a sudden blow sent me reeling. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and several heretics were rifling for my cargo. Arms, armour, crystals. They were taking everything. It was then one of them noticed my bleary gaze and stalked over to better acquaint my head with his mace. Before darkness claimed me, however, I distinctly heard the words, "Return to Snowcloak." I dare say that is where they were hauling my goods, but you'll not catch me rushing off in pursuit. They tell me it was a miracle I survived at all, and I'll not trust my thick skull to save me a second time. Thank you for your time, sir. Return to Snowcloak. It's not a name I think I'm familiar with. No, wait. Snowcloak. That was the False Inquisitor. He ran off this. That was where we confronted him. What happened here? Guardian Knights? Surrender to Chris? I don't have any... Why do you need... Why do they need crystals? Well, I can think of one reason why people would be after crystals. It has been a wee while since we last ran into any Ascian interference. Excuse me, sir. Gah! Draw your weapon, foul! Wait, I recognize you, adventurer. You're come seeking heretics? Then we share a common purpose. We were on patrol when we chanced across one of their raiding parties and pursued them here. By rights, we should have them cornered in this ravine, and yet they are gone. Vanished like icy wraiths. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's many places you could go from here. Get the feeling we're being watched, though. Sir? You glimpsed a woman atop the cliff? Could it be Iceheart herself come to sneer at our folly? And where did she disappear? The heretics must have discovered a passage through the frozen wall, some hidden tunnel that escaped our notice. We have not the men to risk further investigation. It would be best were we to return to Whitebrim Front and lay our suspicions before the Lord Drillmon. I'll go on ahead then, sir. You be careful. They might try attacking you on the way back. More people I couldn't save. That heretic specifically mentioned crystals. That concerns me. Do the heretics have a primal? Could call it too. I know they ally themselves with dragons, but... Lord Drillmon? Sorin, it appears I owe you my thanks once again. The surviving knights spared no detail in their report. The men you found out near Snowcloak were some of my finest. They should be bested so handily. I fear I have woefully underestimated the threat these heretics pose. While I understand you might balk at the notion, I must ask that you put aside your mission and consider the stolen provisions lost to us for now. It would be ill-advised to blunder unprepared into what may well be the very lair of our enemy. Pray return to Dragonhead and inform Lord Orshfont of your discoveries. He will wish to plan contingencies of his own. As for Iceheart and their fanatics, the freezing heights of Snowcloak will not shield them from our justice for long. Good luck with your investigation, sir. I'm wondering, do I mention this to Minfilia when I get back to Mordona? I mean, I don't have any evidence it's for primal. Only other thing I know we use crystals for is crafting. I've only ever used them for my goldsmithing, but... Lord Orshfont?
Your return is most timely. Of their own accord, my thoughts had turned to your task and the progress thereof. I confess, my imaginings tended toward the grim and bloody.
Lord Orshfont?
But you are here now, and I suspect such frivolous wonderings do little justice to the reality of your travails. Tell me, what did you learn of Iceheart?
Unfortunately, not much. Just that her followers are...
Indeed. And this transpired at Snowcloak? Of all the highlands, that towering wall has borne the worst of the region's brutal shift in climate. So inhospitable has Snowcloak become that we have still to survey the area in its entirety. Could its frozen heights conceal the heretics' hideaway? Mayhap a more robust reconnaissance effort is in order. putting such considerations aside for the moment, we still know far too little of this Iceheart. That she is capable of commanding such a band of fanatics bespeaks natural authority, and no small measure of charisma. As much as I would like to fathom this mystery with you, the situation has grown beyond my personal purview. I am bound by duty to inform the Temple Knights and request that they bring this matter to its conclusion. Given the glowing reports the new commander has garnered thus far, I am certain that they can be relied upon to take appropriate action. Though Iceheart's true identity yet eludes us, you have provided us with a point from which to begin. Sometimes it takes but a single stone to prompt an avalanche. On the matter of the stolen provisions, I have already made arrangements for a second shipment to be sent to Revenant's Toll. I could not well allow such an honorable venture to be undermined by one miserable setback.
Is there anything I can do to help with those shipments, or... I guess if one was attacked, there's a possible chance the other might be. Right. I guess for now I'll head back to Revenant's Toll. Mr. Slathborn? Unfortunately, we won't be getting that first shipment of supplies. Sorin, it's good to see you return to the Toll. How fared you in the frozen wastes of Curfus? House Fort Holmes is to send us a second shipment. I must send thanks to Lord Orshfund for his continued generosity. Yet even as our town grows in prosperity, I fear it will attract even greater numbers of those who would do us harm in the name of greed or power. All of us, Alphinaud's new recruits included, must remain vigilant against such threats. Get out of these winter clothes now. Anything else I can help with? While you were away in Curfus, preparations for the inaugural ceremony were all but completed, although Totoro does yet seem somewhat flustered. I've taken enough of your time. Why don't you head into the Rising Stones and see if your frantic receptionist could do with a hand? I'll go and do so. Excuse me. I don't know if there's too much I can help with Totaro's job. I'm not much of a for paperwork. These parchments need to be sorted, and these documents, why are they even here? Oh, I am sorely tempted to file a lot in my waste paper basket. Ah, Sorin, you startled me. You wish to lend a hand? Splendid! Would you be a dear and hand these uniforms to new recruits? They're scattered about Revenant's Toll, and I haven't the time to track them all down. And recruits know to don their garb immediately and assemble here in the Rising Stones. You'll want to report directly back to Alphinaud if you don't want to miss the ceremony. I wonder if the Scions will ever have matching uniforms. A well-funded organization is a well-dressed organization, I suppose. Uniform. Yep. It'd be kind of cool if we had a uniform. Always found uniforms help you feel like part of the team. Not everything, of course, but it helps. Excuse me, sir. Do you happen to be here for the new formation of new Grand Company? Those who believe this company will see no riches as short-sighted fools. Be given of oneself as an investment in the future. Thus did I sign my name to the cause. Well, here's your uniform then, sir. These uniforms are a splendid idea. Once our organization has made a name for itself, there shall be a wealth of plenty in selling replica costumes to the adoring masses. Well, I guess there's always going to be some people in it just for the money, but... there's not much you can do about that. Laurentius? I thought it best among my fellows here, but I admit I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing. Well, I think what you're supposed to be doing is getting down to the Rising Stones. Here's your uniform. Ah, our new uniforms. I'm reminded of my induction to the Wood Whalers. Who else is about? Who needs a uniform? That's someone from the Maelstrom? Excuse me, sir. This scarlet garb marks me a proud member of the Maelstrom, and a hardy defender of limbs Laminsa. Yet in truth, I stand for the betterment of the realm, and thought this new company a fine opportunity to contribute on a grander scale. Well then, sir, here's your new uniform. Oh, now that's a striking shade of blue. But alongside my Maelstrom uniform, my wardrobe will certainly not lack for colour. Hello, sir. I don't believe we've met. I'm Ilbert, and I will have the honour of leading my fellow recruits as captain. Much did I lose to the Calamity, and I look forward to aiding others in rebuilding their lives. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Here's your uniform. The uniforms are a shrewd decision. There's no easier method of creating a common bond among what is, essentially, a band of strangers. Who else is about here? Excuse me, ma'am. Sorin Sherwood. Gods, I did not expect to meet you strolling around town. The tales of your primal battles are what inspired me to come to Revenant's Hall. Well, thank you, ma'am. I guess you're here for the new Grand Company. In which case, I've got your uniform here. It is an honour to receive this uniform from your hands. I shall wear it with pride. So we've got 3 uniforms to be delivered. Oh, Willard. Willard, how are you getting on here? Little Alamigo could learn much from Revenant's Toll. That this town can be so alive in the midst of such desolation. Well, first things first. I've got your uniform. Alphinaud wants everyone to be at the Rising Stone soon. I've never worn aught quite so voluminous. Well, I'm sure I'll grow accustomed to the extra cloth in time. 2 more. Mr. Yule? Hello there, lad. Looking for me, was ye? I'd suggest giving a whistle, but I'm not sure I'd hear it amongst all the bustle. I'm just here to hand out uniforms, sir. Oh-ho, proper uniforms and all. This thing will cut off the blood to me head. Not to worry, though. I'm sure she'll be fine after making a few adjustments. 1 more. Who's... Ah, Alian. Hello there, ma'am. Isilda has at last retired from the adventurer's life. Though I shall miss his wisdom and irrepressible spirit, I am excited to forge my own path forwards. Help with that, ma'am. I've got your new uniform. Ah, yes, the uniform. Thank you. The truth be told, the thought of pledging myself to such a lofty organization is somewhat intimidating. I'm sure it'll be fine, ma'am. I think the inauguration ceremony is to begin soon, so I'll see you there. That's all of them. I guess I should be reporting into Alphinaud myself now, shouldn't I? Yes, sir? Ah, Tatara mentioned you were handing out the new uniforms. I assume you've now met the rest of the recruits. Some few answered the call to arms I put forth through the established grand companies and such. We are not yet an army, but there's much a small corps of elite warriors can achieve. Did I mention I'd thought of a name for the company? It is my hope that it shall soon be known across the breadth of Eorzea. The moment of truth draws near, Sorin. Once the last of the recruits have gathered, I shall make the official announcement.
Comrades, Your presence here this day signifies the momentous choice that each of you has made. With your strength now pledged to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are beholden to no single nation. You stand as the vanguard for a united Eorzea. From this moment forth, I declare you Crystal Braves. Let us mend this fractured realm and face our enemies as one. Whether it be the Beastmen and their primals, or the conflict in Carteneau, it is plain that the nations of Eorzea cannot solve the problems which plague the realm. Thus does it fall to some few heroic souls to succeed where they have failed. Come, take your place at the Scion's side as guardians of Eorzea, and together we shall fight for the freedom of all! For the freedom of all!
I think this kind of makes me agree with Tataru. Why don't we have uniforms?
A rousing speech, Alphinaud. Or should I say, Crystal Brave Commander Leveilleur?
Please, Antecedent. The title is honorary. I shall not be leading the troops into battle, as it were. We are of the same purpose. Let us join hands and do what must be done to save this land.
That was always the plan.
Someone stand ready.
Maybe this will give us a bit of a chance to focus more firmly on the Ascian situation.
I'm eager to see what the Crystal Braves might accomplish. This shall prove an interesting time indeed for the Scions. Yes, I'm listening. So our worst fears are confirmed. The entire Isle. Such power defies comprehension. Truly? Kryl is alive? Thank the 12. I see. Pray, inform me if her condition changes. Yes, I shall pass on your words to Urianger. My thanks. I shall contact you anon.
Is everything okay,
When I
ma'am?
learned of the loss of the Isle of Val, I dared not hope that my friend had survived. Yet, by some miracle, it would seem she has. She's still to regain consciousness, it is true, but better that than death. Putting this happy news to one side, we must now endeavor to make sense of the readings taken by the survey party. It appears the etheric disturbance which accompanied the Isle's destruction is of a magnitude alarmingly close to that of Ultima. Could the Ascians be responsible for this devastation as well?
It wouldn't put it past them.
I wonder. Have you heard aught from the Mother Crystal since the battle with the Garleans?
Now you mention it. No.
Then she speaks to neither one of us. Heidelin's silence portends naught but ill, I fear. Louisoix, I pray you yet watch over us.
Very good. See that the provisions are prepared for transport. Let us hope the shipment is spared the fate of the last. The winds are uncommon fierce this day. And there we go. Let's carry on. We're actually into Dreams of Ice now, which I thought we'd get to sooner. I thought just the last 4 quests of the Defenders of Eorzea patches wouldn't take so long, especially as there was no duties involved. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding. But it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late, and the beast tribes who summoned them are under constant surveillance by the grand companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Ascians, Urianger is wholly dedicated to finding the means by which we may defeat the Dark Beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all of this you knew already. Let us speak then of more current matters, in particular, the state of the Crystal Braves. Alphinaud did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation is another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best, I felt that a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how I can be, independent to a fault, and singularly loath to accept help. Save, of course, when that help comes from you. Alphinaud has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again, were you to offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him, and support him in whatever manner you are able. I hadn't realized it was just me he was relying on for help. I don't know if that's because he considers me more... He's more okay with bothering me than the other Scions, or if he trusts me more than the other Scions. Oh, Mr. Ilbert. Dispatch the first unit to Ul'dah, the second and fourth would stand by for further orders. These things are all ready. Moving ahead. Miss Ida? Condemn refugees to death. Wait a minute, that's not right. What's going on, Mr. Papalma? In which event we must guide them to Little Alamigo, else we condemn them to certain death. Ida, what did I just tell you? Oh, I see. It's miscommunication. Mr. Fankford? A dazzling floral arrangement, each blossom a peerless beauty in her own right. Ah, the blessing and the burden of an overactive imagination. Oh. Alphinaud. Miss Monfilia asks... actually, I was just wondering if there's anything I might be able to do to, help. What is it, Sorin? And do be concise. I am rather busy. You would lend a hand, you say? I see. Well, now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for attention. And given its sensitive nature, I was hesitant to entrust it to my braves, but demands upon my time are such that I had little choice. Which is not to say that my men want for labour. Though we are but newly formed, there is already a great demand for our services, and we are hard-pressed to answer all petitions. But I digress. The fact is, I would sooner attend to this particular matter myself, but my presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I have entrusted its resolution to my second-in-command, Captain Ilbert. Tell him that I sent you, and he will furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance, Sorin. It's not a problem. Excuse me, Captain Ilbert? Oh. Oh, hello, Saber.
Hail to you, Scion. How might we serve you?
I will warn you that my content is nowhere near as good as most people there, I'd say. So I can only say for certain, I think for Pint is the only one I've watched any of their content. Hope you're having a good day.
Commander Leveilleur bade you serve us? These are welcome tidings indeed, given the sensitive nature of the task. I could not rely on one of my own.
Is everything okay, Captain?
That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the strictest confidence.
My lips are sealed, sir.
Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the Grand Companies. Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ. We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this Ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago, and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the Ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge. But we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root.
I suppose we shouldn't be too surprised that there's an Imperial spy in one of the Grand Companies.
Due discretion. Circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The Ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Roban of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames, and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly. Assuming the Ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purpose by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-man army like you.
I don't know if I'd go as far as to say one-man army, but I get the idea. We kind of want to bait the traitor into attacking us. I guess off to Ul'dah. Suppose as well, of all the Grand Companies to find a traitor, it's not too surprising if it be Ul'dah's. There seems to be no lack of people here whose loyalties can be swayed with Gil. Excuse me, General Roban? I'm here about,
Well, what brings you here, my friend?
some confidential business.
He is here at my behest. Greetings, Roban. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears.
You know each other?
But look at you! The honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye. We've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way. We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Bah, spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to him, I'm little more than a glorified butcher. But you, Wilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you are an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway.
Hello.
I have tidings.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all.
And just keep quiet, right?
So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the Monetarists have been in league with the Empire from the first?
That
Very
would be a problem.
I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime. It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days, and drink to the future of our homeland.
So, what now, Captain?
Flame General. You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up. Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
Not a problem at all, sir. Just glad to be of use. But what now? Our hunt for the Ivy begins in earnest, Scion. Suffice it to say, we must tread warily. But one misstep may well cost us our lives. Our business here is concluded for the time being. Let's return to the Rising Stones and report to Commander Leveilleur. Okay then. I'll head on ahead, sir. It's been a wee while since I've heard anything from Garlean Empire. There's not really been much going on with them since the Ultimate Weapon was defeated. Alphinaud? Captain? We are returned from Ul'dah, Commander. And not a moment too soon. Something has happened. Trouble? You will recall that the Fourth was tasked with reconnoitering the rendezvous site used by the Ivy's minion and his Imperial contacts. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. God damn it! According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Garleans are not wont to treat their foemen with dignity. I have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves who are afield. Begging your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask you for your aid once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Garleans with more captives, yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Captain Aelbert has the right of it. I trust you are willing? Of course I am. But of course you are. Now, Alianne of the Fourth lies in wait in the Tangle, near the entrance to Castrum Sentry. Seek her out, and she will appraise you of the situation. But leave it to me, sir. It's not the first time I've broken people out of the Castrum Sentry. Hopefully they're not as organized right now with... Well, 2 of their tribunuses are dead, and... so's their legatus. Nero might still be about, though. Never did... Oh no. Oh no. I have done the Crystal Tower raids. We have met Nero again, haven't we? Yeah. Nero was... the Empire cut him off. So hopefully they're a little less organized than last time I tried to break in. Miss Alianne, I'm here to help with the rescue effort. You would aid us in the rescue mission? We are in your debt, Warrior of Light. Now, time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. The Garleans fell upon us without warning, wounding poor Resh and hauling her away to the castrum yonder. Outnumbered as we were, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Garleans may be interrogating Resh. Or worse. With her hurts, I fear that she will not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may yet be in its infancy, but the bond that binds us is as strong as mithril. None of us will stand by while comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate Castrum Sentry. Please help us find Resh before it is too late. Not a problem, ma'am. Maggie? It's time to help again. Now you can fly. Let's see if we can't find a quicker way in rather than through the front door. That looks like a Crystal Brave uniform. Miss Resh? Is everything... There we go. Should have imagined it wouldn't be that easy. I think the area's clear. Miss Resh, are you okay? Where am I? Miss Alianne. Resh, thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior of Light. Now, to quit this accursed place. Resh cannot move with those wounds. She will need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Might we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Garleans will be only too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If you were to create a commotion within the castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we are safely outside these walls. I'll do my best, ma'am. Let's just go and cause some problems for the Imperials, I guess. Goes over by the gateway towards Castrum Meridianum. That's a vanguard. So that's What about the central area? It's another vanguard. Two vanguards. Be this area clear. On to the next. And then hopefully that'll be enough time for the fourth to escape. There. Ran out of vanguards, I guess. Oh, never. More infantry. Gonna have to fight that vanguard. Seems to be everything. It's now time to make my own escape. Hopefully they all made it out. Looks like them. Miss Allian? Where's the rest of the squad? I have awaited your return most anxiously, my friend. You've done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is safe, and we suffered no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. All that is left is to report the mission's success to Commander Levier. I shall go on ahead to the Rising Stones. The rest must have just gone on ahead. I was worried for a moment there something had happened during the escape. But all's well that ends well. Everyone got out alive, that's best we could hope for. Alphinaud. Alphinaud? I think our rescue mission was a success. Ah, it does me well to see you thus returned. Though I doubt not your prowess, entering an enemy stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to have been a trifle anxious. But here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission, as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to their expert ministrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, Sorin. Captain? Allow me to thank you also, Scion. Resh owes you her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander. I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may yet take time, but I will not rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Sorin, I realize you have scarce caught your breath, but I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Kerfus. I have been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, you see, and the man expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you are ready. Okay. Ishgardian dignitary wants to meet me? I know I've done a lot around Eorzea, but I didn't think I'd earned Ishgard's attention. We've been blessed with a rare opportunity, Sorin. An audience with the Ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We are to treat with Sir Aymerk, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, in Camp Dragonhead. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader wields tremendous political influence. We would be wise to court his favour. For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. If Sir Aymerk wishes to meet the man behind the legend, I would not deny him the pleasure of your company. The Antecedent should see the wisdom of this plan when you request permission to accompany me to Curfus. Mayhap you feel this to be a waste of your talents, which could doubtless be put to nobler uses. Excuse me. If so, I should remind you that more good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than the thrust of a sword. I mean, I'm all on board for that, Alphinaud. I will just maybe won't say that as a scholar, the whole... I accomplished my fighting with, you know, pen strokes. Miss Minfilia? A meeting with an Ishgardian ambassador. By all means, I think it a wonderful idea. We have received no reports of Aetheric disturbances or unusual beast tribe activity of late. If Alphinaud believes your presence may help him secure more favourable terms, I see no reason to deny him. Antecedent? I take it Sorin has explained the situation? He has. Yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? Would that I knew. The question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than is generally known. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the centre of Abelathia's spine, ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the original Eorzean alliance, formed in the wake of Alamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of convenience, who withdrew from the alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silvertear Skies. Since which time, their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' calls to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbours' pleas, even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Carteneau, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defence of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. I have tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the alliance at every opportunity. I have explained over and over again that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one our nations will fall, as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why, naught. Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction. I should hope so. Rather than the lowly messengers we have been fobbed off with in the past, this time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I am not so naive as to think they come to us of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let us depart for Camp Dragonhead, Sorin. Our old friend Lord Orshfont is expecting us. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further ingratiated yourself with the man. Excellent work. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. That's not why I was helping them, but I guess you're not wrong. No, I don't need to go to Mordona. I'm dragging it. Excuse me. Lord Orshfont? Ah, Sorin, ever a welcome sight. Our hearths have been stoked to a blazing in preparation for your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished personage to catch cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. Ah, good Master Alphinaud. An honour, as always. Likewise, Lord Orshfont. Forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we've relied overmuch on your aid since you so generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense! Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? House Fort Holmes may even seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped to justify the decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. But to the matter at hand, Sir Imeric arrived at Camp Dragonhead earlier, and I am told he is eager to meet with you at your first convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journey, and desirous to rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. But if you are willing to forego such comforts, pray inform the knight stationed outside the intercessory. He will grant you entrance, and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your earth sounds, I think it best we proceed to the intercessory forthwith. Yeah, it wouldn't do any good to leave an ambassador waiting, I suppose. It's a bit cold out. I'm going to be indoors, maybe don't want a big coat, but some sleeves wouldn't go far wrong. Excuse me, sir? We've been expecting you, sir. Pray take your ease inside, and I shall summon the others. Looks like I'm the first here. Lord Oshwell? Is everything okay?
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Oh, I think Alphinaud will be doing most of the talking, and if anything, he certainly doesn't lack for confidence. Oh, did he hear me?
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Emeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphinaud Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Emeric. I think we will find that we have much in common.
I'm Sorin Sherwood.
Reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
I don't know if I'd say that much, sir.
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us. Now then, shall we begin?
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last.
I can confirm that bit.
To these threats, I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Sorry, just had to close my window.
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Fortin has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Emmerich, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not. For I require something in exchange.
Now we get to
Of
the
late,
crux
there
of the
has been
issue.
a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked. It
Again?
was Iceheart, my lord.
What? By the Fury! All our precautions were for naught?
That's a problem. Alphinaud? Just when we were starting to make progress. And to make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Toll of all places. Honestly, were I so inclined, I should think the gods were conspiring against us. Happily, however, I am not. I would know more of this attack. Let us speak with Lord Orshvant and find out what he has learned. If I find out that this shipment was a shipment of crystals... My sincerest apologies for the interruption, my friends, but the situation is such that we must act swiftly. If you would be so kind as to elaborate. Iceheart's heretics fell upon the caravan bound for Revenant's Toll as it was passing through Boulder Downs. 'Twas an ambush, swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain, every crate seized. Then, as quickly as they had appeared, they were gone. 'Twould be an impossible feat without knowledge of the route. Knowledge to which only a select few are privy, I presume. Quite. We can pursue that avenue of inquiry in due course. It seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush should be our first concern. The trail is yet warm. We must act swiftly, as Lord Orshvant said, lest crucial evidence be lost. You have a knack for discerning hidden truths, Sorin. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? An excellent idea! Inform my men of your intent upon arrival, and they will gladly share their findings. I'll head out immediately then. Well, I could just get changed back into my... Where's it? Number 4. If I'm going to be going out in the snow again, wouldn't do anyone any good for me to catch frostbite. And hopefully I can start setting an example for Alphinaud that he should maybe start wearing something warmer when he comes out to Curfus. That outfit of his does not look insulating. Boulder Downs. Just around this cliff face, isn't it? Look out for a caravan. Is it? That looks like it might be it. Those are House 4 Tom's Knights. Excuse me, sir. I was sent by Lord Orshvant. Move along, adventurer. There's nothing for... Eh? Lord Orshvant bid you speak first? Then you must be... Beg your pardon, scion. As you can see, they left nary a crate behind. Tipped a wagon for good measure, even. The whole thing's a bit odd, if you ask me. Would have been easier to just steal it, though a damn sight harder to conceal it, I'll allow. I reckon they came prepared. Probably with wagons of their own hidden away off, but pay no heed to my ramblings. Absent of proof, 'tis naught but speculation. Might be as the squire receiving care at the observatorium could tell you something more factual. That is, if he's awake. Unlike myself, he was there during the attack. Not that his presence amounted to much. Thank you for the information, sir. I'll go and see if he is awake. I hope he's doing okay. It'd be nice to hear if someone survived. It's starting to seem like these shipments might be causing more problems than they're solving. I think. Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for... You've come to ask about the attack, haven't you? We came upon them before the entrance to the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims we marked them as, lost and ill-equipped for a journey further north. Our leader called out to them, and one stepped forward to answer. Slowly she approached, her silver hair flowing in the wind like melting snow. Just a young girl, I thought, some poor lost lamb in search of salvation. Our leader must have thought the same, else why would he let her draw so close? They exchanged some words I couldn't hear, and she leaned forward as if to kiss his cheek, and then he sighed and crumpled to the ground. I didn't know what happened till I saw the snow turn red. Then there was red everywhere I looked. I tried to fight, but took a blow to the head, and by the time I came to, the others were dead, and the heretics were unloading the wagon. I couldn't... I mean, they'd have killed me, so I just lay still and listened. Iceheart's people spoke of deliverance and resurrection, and they spoke of Shiva. Shiva, sir? To hear them speak, they truly believe they can resurrect Shiva, but that can't be possible, can it? Can't. Shiva? That's not a name I think I've heard before. Maybe Alphinaud knows more. If if a squire of House Four Toms knows the name, then probably not, like, classified information. Alphinaud? Ah, you've returned. What news have you for us? Apparently the heretics were talking about something about Shiva. It seems that Lady Iceheart does not scruple to sully her hands with blood. Who is this Shiva the heretics spoke of? Have you not read a single line of the Enchiridion, Master Alphinaud? Shiva was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who laid down with dragons. Now, we cannot expect all foreigners to know Ishgardian scripture so well, particularly when it concerns the patron saints of heretics. Wait, you say she is their patron saint? Oh no, it all makes sense now. Lord Orshvant, what was the caravan's cargo? Ah, if I recall correctly, the diamond forge had requested a rather large quantity of crystals. Do you not see? Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva, as a beast tribe with a primal. Why else would they go to such lengths to secure crystals? I shall inform the Lord Commander at once. Lord Orshvant, you would agree that discretion is of paramount concern? Of course. I trust we can count on your continued support, Master Alphinaud. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to combat the primal threat. Our support is a given. I will need to send word to my brethren in Revelance Toll. Our entire order must turn its efforts to the prevention of this summoning. Naturally, that includes you, but I'm sure you would not miss this for the world. If there's a primal about, then it's my job to see it dealt with. Can't say I'm happy about being right this time. Oh, excuse me. The persistent attacks on our caravan seemed little more than a nuisance at first. The heretics were a problem, to be sure, but a relatively minor one. That was before I discerned the purpose behind their attacks, of course. Now they have my undivided attention. After apprising Minfilia of the situation, I shall summon a unit of Crystal Braves to assist us. As for you, Sorin, pray join me in Whitebrim Front. Since the incident at Snowcloak, the Knights of House Durandare have redoubled their reconnaissance efforts in the region. It's my hope that they have information which may help us determine precisely where the heretics are hiding. Given our mutual enemy, Lord Drillmon should be eager to oblige us. I shall see you there then. Good. Suppose if... I saw it with Gilgamesh and Enkidu that... all that's needed is belief in crystals. Doesn't necessarily have to be a god that they believe in. Excuse me. Lord Imeric. Scions of the Seventh Dawn wish to join the hunt for Iceheart? Your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report I just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. We are all ears, Lord Drillmon. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garb appeared to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak, the self-same frozen wall which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice it to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims and their provisions all but confirms our suspicions. I have heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of Crystal Braves to Whitebrim Front. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you will agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. It would be in our best interests to coordinate our efforts. Such is my intent from the start, Sir Aymeric. And so it begins, my friend. Though I dare say it will prove an all too brief collaboration. Iceheart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager all upon the success of a single solution. There may yet be a subtler means by which we can locate the heretic's lair. Mayhap Lord Drillmon has one in mind. I'll ask him about it, sir. Yes, yes. Excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak and it shall be done. And with 1 minute, it being 1 minute to 11, that is where I will be finishing up this stream. So yeah, we made decent progress. Not didn't get us through the remainder of Defender of Eorzea as I thought we would. Made it, I think, a wee bit through Dreams of Ice. If I remember correctly, Dreams of Ice is the longest of the patches. So next stream we'll be focusing on probably finishing that up, I think. And so that will be on Wednesday. Tomorrow's stream will be back to Subnautica Below Zero. And then on Friday, yeah, next Friday we will be starting, I hope, well, hopefully, as long as we finish up Dreams of Ice on Wednesday, we'll be starting into the final sets of patches for Final Fantasy XIV, like the 2.x, patches, which is before the fall, which means we are not far away at all from starting into Heavensward. When it comes to before the fall, I might look at changing around my stream schedule a little bit to try and... I might look at doing... I want to make sure kind of I can finish up the whole finale of A Realm Reborn before starting Heavensward. So that'll probably be a bit of a longer stream to accommodate that, which means I'll probably, to make sure I don't mess up my sleep schedule or anything and I'm still able to get to work on time and all that, I might do it on a different day or a different time, but I'll announce that close to the time. But anyway, thank you for stopping by and coming along to watch. I hope you enjoyed it somewhat. And I will perhaps see you all in the next stream. Until then, have a good day. And... oh, I was clicking wrong buttons. Yep, until then, thanks for stopping by, and goodbye.